I'm Aaron. Thanks for taking the time to look around my website and learn about me and my business. I was born in the Midwest, St. Louis. I was the youngest of three children. I remember playing in the snow and playing on my grandparents' farm, but my parents moved to South Florida when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and that's where I grew up. I was always interested in numbers from a young age. I would try to add up the bill for the groceries before we checked out when my mom took me to the grocery store. Later in school, I would attend a lot of math competitions on Saturdays when a lot of my other friends were hanging out at the park or the beach. One of the struggles I had when I was younger was figuring out what I was going to do for a career. When you're really interested in math, a lot of people think you're going to teach, but I was lucky. My mom worked in the insurance industry and introduced me to the actuarial career. I really thought I had my life sorted out in high school. I started taking the actuarial exams then, and that continued into the time I started college. I went to the University of Florida. I majored in math and statistics, and I majored in actuarial sciences. But a couple years into my college studies, the head of the actuarial program took me aside and told me actuaries were people that thought accounting was too exciting. Not knowing what I was going to do with my career, I decided to stick around college a little bit longer. I enrolled in a master's program for applied mathematics, and I got really lucky. One of the professors started a course on financial engineering, and one of the more successful University of Florida graduates, MBA graduates, who started a banking chain in Southeast Florida, posted a job for an internship in financial engineering, and I ended up getting that job. That internship really opened my eyes. I really enjoyed working with markets and numbers, analyzing statistics and data, and I thought I had really found my calling. I decided to go back to college to finish a PhD and use that to get a job up on Wall Street. After finishing my PhD in mathematical finance, I moved up to New York and started working on Wall Street. I worked in New York for a few years and really enjoyed it, but then the bank I was working for got bought by another bank and I ended up transferring to London. Working in London was another great experience. I initially only planned to work there for a couple of years, but I got recruited by another bank, a British bank, and ended up staying there almost 9 years. While the work was fascinating and getting exposed to all different cultures and ways of life was really great, the best thing that came out of London was meeting my wife. We took a year off and lived in the south of France before moving back to the United States. We moved back to South Florida, pretty close to where I grew up, and we started a family and I started a business, and life changed pretty quickly. Unlike my previous career on Wall Street and in London, the majority of my business now is focused on financial planning. I find that is perhaps not as glamorous as stock picking and derivatives like my previous career, but I do find it's a more robust way to provide financial security. One of the things that certainly sets me apart from a lot of my competitors is a PhD in mathematical finance. For example, a lot of my competitors will use off-the-shelf software for financial planning. I found some hiccups or pitfalls in some of those software packages and decided to develop a lot of my own models. Outside of my business, my family is my world. I have a lovely wife and two great kids, and I love to spend as much time as I can with them. I also try to stay in shape. I love playing tennis, basketball, surfing. Unfortunately, as I get a little bit older, I find some of these things are not as easy as they used to be. I've gotten involved with several charitable organizations, but one of the topics that's closest to my heart is education. When I eventually retire or semi-retire, I'm certainly going to get involved in teaching and educating. For right now, my educational focus is around financial planning and investments. I really enjoy helping other people, and the fact that I can make a living out of this is just amazing. Thanks again for taking the time to learn about me and my business. If you have any questions or if you'd like some help with your financial planning or investing, please get in touch.